Oh, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about pajamas today. Yes, we are. Everybody's least favorite meme coin. I mean, most people probably haven't heard of this coin, even though I've talked about it a couple times here. I've been talking about pajamas really since March, and at this rate, that's like over half of its existence. But we are doing some good things right now on the chart, you guys. I think things are looking a bit interesting, right? We hit the overbought zone, rejected it a little bit, sure. You know, it does look like we have bearish divergence, but oftentimes when I see this, I feel like it psychs you out, man. It psychs you out. I'm gonna pause the music. I forgot that it was playing. Sometimes it's just background noise, you know. And it could be bearish divergence. I don't think it is. I think this was bearish divergence with this like flat top, and that I think that was bearish divergence. You had your move down afterwards. I think anybody looking at this thinking that this is bearish divergence, they might be sourly mistaken over the coming days, because really what we're at right now is like the top of this range, right? It's the very top of this little box that we're in, and at the bottom of it, where we just came from, right? I've got all these ads which you guys can't see. I gotta click out. I just had to refresh my computer. Anyways, man, the bottom of it literally tipped to a T. We tipped our previous all-time high daily close. We literally tipped it, okay? An area that we found resistance on once before, twice before, and now found support on it even 2 more times afterwards. So somewhat significant area to find support. All these lines here, you might be wondering what those are. That's just a bunch of different MAs. Instead of the EMA ribbon, like on this chart here, let's see, max or MA exponential ribbon that I normally use on TradingView. On Dex Screener, they don't have that. You have to upload your own indicator. So I just made instead of an EMA, I just made an SMA ribbon, which I actually kind of prefer a little bit more, but it's looking bullishly postured. If we look at the 4-hour, you can see that it has crossed bullishly as well, and we are actually finding support on it right now. As we're moving up, volume is coming back in. It doesn't look like a lot of volume, especially compared to what we had here. I want to kind of address this back here, right? Notice where the high levels of volume came in, right? This is when we started moving up, was like right around here, right? And look at the volume, right? It's just bigger here than it was back in here, right? Than the relative time. So it did grow. It just wasn't as big as this. This happened, the big volume came toward the end of the move, actually. So if we look at what we've got here, you know, in comparison, if I draw a line, if I put this line down here to like what looks to be the average of this move down here, right? You can see there's only a couple pips that get above that line, but lately, since we've had this move up, since we've been moving up, there's been more readings of higher volume. We're getting more volume in. It's not the best volume, but it is getting there. All that to say, it's not really essential that we have high volume until we like really start going, right? We're just consolidating at the moment, getting ready to break out and move higher. We are at the top of this range. Oh, that's not the best look. Let's do the daily. We're at the top of this range right now, potentially getting ready to move higher. And where we're going to go, if I'm not mistaken, it's not going to be, I mean, it's going to be a nice little pump, but it's not going to be anything crazy. I'm assuming we do something like a 60% pump, maybe a 120% pump, somewhere in between there. If we take this all-time high to low here, it's the old all-time high. You can see that we actually bounced right off the 886. We double bottomed on that 886, which is really nice. From there, from the current price, the minimum expectation would be here, which that's actually only a 38% gain. But I am heavily considering this 6% area to be where we go, and that's at about 100%. The 1618 is all the way at about 11 cents. That'd be what is that, 3.5? That's a 3.5x, 256%. And that could be where we go. I'm not holding my breath over that. You know, it could be where we go, but I want to take this relative high here to this relative low. Not only did we bounce off this larger fib range, the 886, but we also tipped the 100 area of this resistance point, which again coincides with the closing daily close right there on that previous high. The more immediate targets, looking at this relative one. So we hit the 1618, tipped the 100. That's actually a very bullish sign. The minimum target would be the 1786, though I think with the 100 tip we can look for the 1886 automatically, and that puts us at about 5 cents. So that's about a 70% growth, 72% growth from the current price. We could go all the way up to the 2272. You know, seeing the 2272 even to the 2618 off of this kind of maneuver in the fibs is common enough. And I mean, that'd be anything from like a 200% gain to a 420% gain, 430% gain. So there's definitely higher targets than I'm personally expecting on the table. That 9 to 16 cent area is something that's come up on both of these fibs. But I am looking, I'm trying to keep it a little bit more grounded. I think that we are in the more immediate terms going to move up to, let's just say 5 to 7.5 cents, somewhere around there. I want to see how it looks when we get up there, how things seem. Is the volume good? Are we showing bearish divergence on smaller time frames before I start calling for prices that are above like 7.5 cents essentially? But I can say that right now, just looking at it, man, we are like literally right here, right? That's your high 4-hour close. We are hugging it, man. We rejected it here, but we're hugging it right now. We are finding support. Like it's today, tomorrow, this week, it's looking like Pajamas is going to move up. So if anybody's looking for a quick little rip to come, this could be one of them. Now, to be fair, to be completely fair, we are at the top of this range, right? If this was like a little box that we draw, not too well, but somewhat of a box, we're at the top of it, right? We're in the upper limits of this box. If I could delete just that part, that line was so straight, man. I'm gonna try this again. Hold on. Straight, there we go, baby. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, so definitely at an area where if we were to come down, even if we didn't go all the way to the base of the box, which we could do, we come to the midpoint, which is fairly common, and then go up, that could happen. So if you're looking to get in, it's kind of hard to say to get in right here. Though I do genuinely, none of this is financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do genuinely feel like we are going to move up from here. Like I don't think, I think if I was tempted to buy, this might be a kind of last call before we get out. A good way to mitigate the risk on that, you might have to take a little bit out from your gains, your potential gains, instead of buying here, buying at the breakout point. Don't wait for a wick, wait for a 4-hour close or something like that. And that's what that's actually a kind of class of traders. There is a class of traders out there called breakout traders, and that's how they would do it in these situations, right? You'd make your purchase, you'd go long as you're breaking out above previous areas of resistance, right? In your consolidation phase or whatever. But looking at the 4-hour RSI, it's very bullish in my opinion. You've got lower lows here, higher lows here. You're finding support on your ribbon. The ribbon just crossed up. The volume's not all there, but it is a little bit more than what we've seen recently. I think the hourly looks fine. The fact that you found a relative low here, I mean, on the hourly, it's not that significant, but finding support above, not even getting into your oversold zone, I think is a testament of bullishness. Same thing on the 4-hour here. You're not even getting below the 50, and then it just builds all the way up into the daily, where we're literally closing above these high points here. We actually yesterday, damn, what did we like close kind of right at the top? I don't know, man. It's looking good. So all that to say, I think Pajamas, the first YouTube cat, is about to go 60 to 200% higher over the coming days, couple weeks maybe. And it does have the potential to go a lot higher than that. There are 400 to 600% gains on the table for sure. And that would probably happen in a very short amount of time. But again, it's just a matter of, is it a good time to get in here? I don't think it's a good time to sell, that's for sure. If you were trading, best time to sell would have been there, obviously. That would have been a good time to sell. This, obviously, in that same area might be a good area to sell, but things look different to me, man. Things just look, it seems a bit different. We don't have the cross, we crossed up. RSI looked bearish down here where it's looking strong, and to boot, we just had this huge move. We had to cool off a little bit. We've cooled off a little bit and we're showing strength again. I think we're ready to run, man. So we'll see, time will tell, but I'll probably have more bullish videos to make by the end of this week on Pajamas. So that's all I got to say. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.